The Chiefs have a chance to submit themselves in NFL history. Will Saquon Barkley having his historic Super Bowl performance against the Chiefs? We give our early Super Bowl predictions for this upcoming matchup. All of this next on Chiefin.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Chiefin. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie.
Let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that they're regular self.
Facts. Go Chiefs. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chiefin. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. How you doing tonight, bro?
Good. Excited. Happy. I don't know how to really break it all down. How to really feel. Really ecstatic to be a part of Chiefs history, to say the least.
Man, I mean, there was a lot of doubts this season, regardless of the record that the Chiefs had. They were able to overcome a lot of struggles. There's been a lot of chatter about, the refs helping us out. But at the end of the day, they were able to make it to their third straight Super Bowl with a chance of actually cementing themselves in NFL history. So we might as well go ahead and jump right into it. Kansas City cheat or history-making Chiefs? The Kansas City Chiefs are progressing to their third consecutive Super Bowl with aspirations of achieving a three-peat, which will make them the first NFL team to accomplish this feat in the Super Bowl era. Do you believe the discussions surrounding officiating are overshadowing the remarkable performance we witnessed during last Sunday's AFC Championship game?
Yes, I think the refs are overshadowing the Chiefs' success that we seen last Sunday in the Chiefs AFC Championship game. But I think it's been that way for a while now. The Chiefs are in a position that I think that the Patriots are in. Those dynasties with Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, Tom Brady. I think they're in that same rarefied air that team that beat us in the AFC Championship game in 2018 was in, where you're kind of people are tired of seeing you win. They've become the Bulls, they become the Warriors, they become some of the, just to name a few of the latest greatest teams that went on to be some of the greatest teams that just kept winning. And so people were tired of it. Mad Dog Russo was so funny today on ESPN, just how he was talking about the Chiefs. It's kind of like he said he was chiefed out. And that was leading him to his asinine takes on why the Chiefs should just lose and why they won't be one of the greatest dynasties in sports history. It was crazy to me that he had to make a take like that just because the team was winning so much. Like, that's ridiculous. So I understand that people are going to say that the refs are a big part of the game, but I think that we should take a bigger look at and take kind of like a microscope and break the game down. You have to win the game when it comes to fourth and short and third and short. And the Bills didn't do that. The Chiefs won in their fourth and short and their third and short. They did have a turnover, but when they needed to get a fourth down in their own end, you see they went to Kareem Hunt and got the fourth and short. So you have to convert on those downs. And the Bills went to the tush push twice, not only on 4th and 5, but on the goal line, and they were stopped twice. So if you've seen a lot of analysts say it, if you can't get a yard in the NFL, I don't think you deserve to win, period. So being that the Bills couldn't pick up a yard or a half a yard in either one of those plays, you don't deserve to win the football game. So I think that's what we should really shed light on here instead of shedding light on the refs. The conversation has went on too long about the refs, but let's talk about how the Bills got pushed off the line of scrimmage a little bit and kind of got blown back. Tony Romo brings it up, and we say people don't like watching Tony Romo, and that's why. Tony Romo always says it. You see how your defensive line is getting blown off the ball here? That's not good. And the Chiefs won the line of scrimmage that all through the AFC Championship, blowing them off the line and kind of pushing them back and stopping him before he gets started, even scouting it good, telling you where he wanted to run it to. So the Bills didn't win in the situations that they needed to win in. Not the refs didn't win the game for the Bills. Let's stop talking.
Yeah, I agree, bro. The refs are definitely overshadowing the remarkable performance that we saw from both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, he fought throughout the entire game. The defense for the Bills, they try to give their team opportunities as well, too. They had a turnover. They were able to get a couple stops for some punts. So the opportunities were there to actually, of course, overcome those past losses that they had to the Kansas City Chiefs, but it didn't happen in this game. And the reason why is that this team is well disciplined and they actually know how to go about these certain situations. When we go back into the past and we look at the history of the Kansas City Chiefs, even uh, that was pre Patrick Mahomes, we had a lot of knucklehead mistakes and of course, some dumb penalties that put us in a bad position when we were going down to the final moments in a couple games, even in the postseason as well too. And I think, and we discussed this as well too, Lonnie. I felt like with Andy Reid and the history that he has had, even going back into the Eagles as well too, when he was with the Eagles, he's seen the times that he let a game go, right? And when you have a quarterback that, of course, they can eliminate all those bad habits that you had, all he had to do is tell his team, tell his players, tell his coaches, and emphasize, we're going to observe how the refs call it. We're going to observe how this game is being played as well, too, and we're going to adjust to that. The reason why you don't see as many penalties for the Kansas City Chiefs oppose other offenses or defense of the opposing teams is because they came into this matchup. When they got back there to Josh Allen, they did sack him twice. But when they got back there and he got the ball away, you seen guys like George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, even Chris Jones and Aminu as well too. When they get back there, put contact on them, they get their hands up. They're showing like, hey, I am not being over aggressive. I am not having unnecessary roughness. And they're acknowledging that and seeing that because they're seeing how y'all are calling out those mistakes that they're having with them. You want to know why these other teams are having the mistakes that the Kansas City Chiefs are not having? It's because you're trying to go out and hit Patrick Mahomes. You're trying to affect his play and have him scared throughout the game. So when you have those moments and you have that extra contact, that extra push, you going up in the head and neck area, they're going to call that because that was blatant. And the thing is, they have replay assists, and that's been shown as well too. And on those calls that it said, we can't call it back because he actually made contact to the head. If you were in that sense in that game in the divisional round when Will Anderson went after him, instead of pushing him and trying to show you hit him, you could have just gotten his grill like this. That's going to affect him as well too. You see that he wasn't able to complete the pass. You got to be smart in those situations, and that's what the Kansas City Chiefs do. So this game was overshadowed by the refs because people are want to point out every little thing. They're trying to call every holding that you see out here. We're saying that there wasn't a first down at all. We got to pay attention to the small details of what happens throughout the game. If your knee hit the ground, regardless if you fall forward, if you fall up like this, they're going to spot it where it's at that moment because your knee hit the ground and they call the right spot. With Josh Allen, and we look at the replays as well too, you can say the aerial view. The aerial view is not going to be as best because it can depict a whole different story that you had. Now we saw it when it was down the line and they had the image right there. You seen Chris Jones was in the way, and then also with Josh Allen, I feel like people want to blame him. Like he could have, of course, reached out and did all this other stuff. But when you're in the playoffs, you can't have turnovers. So I understand why he's holding the ball like this. And with him holding the ball like this, and it's on his back arm that is closer towards the line of scrimmage and behind the line of scrimmage, bruh, it's not a first down. So you might have saw that extra little push, but at the same time, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were very stern in their positioning and they weren't getting pushed back. That's why it wasn't an easy call. So I say this to all the figureheads, to all the media heads that talk. It's not fans that I understand Chiefs fans are the ones who are going hard in defending it, but by rule, we are correct in that. That's why. Now, it's a lot of calls that's missing. You can get a screenshot of a potential hold, depending on if that person hand and arm is around the side of their back, and you see that in that moment where it's like, okay, you're restricting him. We understand that, but the game is moving fast. If you guys are out there as referees, I promise you wouldn't do better than the referees that we see out there right now. I swear. That is an art and that's a skill. You didn't see people who are passionate about it, even on the high school and little league level. And they take it very seriously. Some of you all don't even have the patience or will understand what you're even looking at to even call that. You're just going based off what other football players are saying. And let me tell you about this, because I'm going off on this right now. What did Derrick Henry say in his interview when they was talking about when he got over to Alabama, what Nick Saban said? Coach, they just told me in high school to toss me the ball and just run. Some of them are just switch athletes. They just know how to do one thing and do it. Some of y'all don't really understand the rules and the regulation of what's going on in the game. You want to know why? Because the coach is telling you what you have to do and what you need to do, and you're going to follow that because you're a freak athlete. You want to know why some of the nerds who know more about the game, who is not actually in it? Because we wish we could. We don't have the physical, the physical traits to be a part of that. I'm not 6'5", 320 pounds to go out there and play left tackle or right guard. I would love to, but God didn't give me that ability to, be able to possess that and go on to that. So when we are observing or watching the game, we have to, because with situations like this, you see that this team is a dynasty. They're on the verge of doing greatness. You live long enough, you become the villain. So since our team is a villain, we got to defend them because we see ourselves as the heroes. We saved ourselves from the Tom Brady and New England Patriots era, and they had a drought. Mahomes is doing this for 7 straight years that he was starting going into the AFC Championship game. That was the floor. So this game was definitely overshadowed by the referees, and I think people have to appreciate the greatness of what's going on right now. And I'm glad that Nate Burleson actually spoke on that and said something about that because I felt that later on in the Tom Brady and New England Patriots era as well. Now, other than the scandals that they had, they got the punishments that they were supposed to get, but seeing the team during that time frame and you're alive and you know about football and see them win 6 championships and dominate a particular sport for so long, we didn't heard our parents and grandparents talk about the Bulls era and talk about the Yankees and talk about the Red Sox. I don't know the hockey teams over there. I don't want to screw it up, but then talked about those teams as well too, who have been a part of that and have the Chiefs are now in that realm. So just enjoy it. And at least, it's not any recording practices. It's not deflating footballs. I'm being real. It's really no scandals a part of it. You can say that the refs are, of course, it feels like they're manipulating the game in a way because they may like the Chiefs or they want to see these type of things. But 32 NFL owners is not coming, 31 other NFL owners is not coming together and say, hey, let's go ahead and help out this small market team that is really they're the face of the NFL right now, but typically you want the bigger markets like Los Angeles, California, New York, Florida. Those teams are usually flourishing because they have all the money to bring in our star players, right? Why would 31 other owners want to contribute to this small town country state they have corn, and we got a city as well too, but we talking about the outskirts. That's how y'all view us and everything, right? So I'm just putting it out there. Why would they do that? How is it benefiting them? Rihanna, why is she's buying a house in Kansas City and ASAP Rocky? You see Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce now, they having a ball. It's like it's kind of star studded now, right there. I understand, but still, I don't get it. It's overshadowing.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, just to go back to your point about Josh and the football, and he shoulda and we coulda, and why are we talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda? Like I think it needs to come down to win the down definitively, and leave no question. And that's what championship teams do. That's what separated you in this game. The Chiefs did that when it came to fourth down on their own end. Who did they go? They went to Kareem Hunt, and it was no question. They didn't have to go review it for if he got the first down or not. He got it definitively. Get the first down definitively, leave no question, and we don't have to even sit here and have a conversation about the refs. I think we kind of tanked the legacy of the Chiefs when we started doing stuff like this. Like, and that's not cool. Like you said, we mentioning the Chiefs in the names to names of like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. This is like something we've never seen before. We need to take it for what it is, and it's no scandal. Hasn't been found any scandals. There ain't been no practices recorded. There ain't been no balls deflated. This has just all been genuine. You've seen the turnover before your very eyes, and you've seen the drafting before your very eyes. This is just we're living through history. So just embrace it and take it for what it is. Don't taint the legacy with this.
And this is a team that was actually built by Bridge Beach after, of course, we had suffered that loss against the Cincinnati Bengals in 2021, going into that 2022, right? That was a part of that in the playoffs, but it's for the 2021 season. He went there, of course, a year before that, after that Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He rebuilt the offensive line. He went out he got more players on the defensive side of the ball that will be factors. And, of course, it replaced the veterans that we had leaving as well, too. From there, they have been to 3 straight Super Bowls. They have dominated their conference. They then dealt with some hardships with, of course, not having Tyreek Hill no more. But the year when Juju came in, they were still one of the best offenses in 2022. We suffered when we lost him in 2023, but we was able to overcome and still go to the Super Bowl and win that as well, too. We got to appreciate that they're showing us weaknesses as they're going through this because everyone is giving them their best. But they're showing us the fight that they have that has pushed them in the place of why they're one of the best teams that ever played this game and one of the dynasties that's going to continue going forward and who people are trying to mimic as well too. So it's definitely going to be fun ride. I'm going to definitely enjoy this. But hey, let's leave it alone. Just to be the champs, you have to beat the champs. That's the words from Josh Allen and everyone else who has fallen short of the champions as well too. You will eventually have your shot. It just wasn't this time, but it can happen. And knowing that we're coming into next year, we don't know how that would go, but we got to focus on this upcoming game that we have here. So before we get into that next topic and discuss that, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Please make sure to like, comment, and share other videos so other Chiefs fans like yourself can go ahead and tap in with that content and then join the party over here at Red Kingdom Media. Also, make sure to subscribe to our daily Substack. We have a newsletter that comes out Monday through Friday, and then me and Rod, we also do the pregame and postgame articles where we, of course, talk about the upcoming game and then break down the game after that as well. So please make sure if you want to become a paid member to that to get exclusive content, please do so to support our channel. Also, if you want a shirt, if you want some merch, please reach out to me, Clinton, or Lonnie, or Shannon. We can definitely put it in order for you so we can get that over to you as soon as possible. We're definitely trying to get more merch as well so we can get that out to you so you can represent. And the Super Bowl is coming up as well too. I don't know if you're going to New Orleans. I don't know if you're going to be back home, but you can have something to rock new at that Super Bowl party or going up to New Orleans and represent the Kansas City Chiefs as well too. We also having the final drive coming back. We was talking about it before. We was like, if we make it, we'll do it. We made it. So we're gonna do it. So got a couple people who already reached out and trying to get those scheduled out as well too. But if you do want to be a part of our final drive series that we're going to do the week leading up to the Super Bowl, please reach out to us so we can get a day and time set up. That way we can get it scheduled for next week. And then, of course, that show will be meant for you. So please make sure to contact us about that as well. And also, if you just want to be on the Home of the Chiefs platform at any time to go ahead and talk with Clinton and Shannon and any other guests that we might be having on that show as well too, please fill out that form. It's going to be in the link below. That way we can get that set up for the future, and then you can, of course, you can have a show on that one as well. All right, now moving on to our next top. Die Eagle Die. I couldn't think of nothing else. I wasn't trying to be scandalous with doing that, but it's the last game. We don't, Philly fans, we're not trying to send shots like that. We know y'all like to get down. We get down too, so don't worry. We're not for none of that. No, I'm just playing. But still, the Chiefs successfully concluded their game against the Bills without any injuries. They had a injury report that came up, but they said this was a guesstimate because they didn't have practice at that time, but they were just going to base off of injuries that people hadn't had before, so they just put them on the injury report. But all those guys left the game healthy, so they were fine. So, and this is good entering the Super Bowl in good health. Meanwhile, the Eagles had a decisive victory over the Commanders in their championship game on Sunday and are prepared to challenge the reigning defending champs. Lonnie, will Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley be the game changer for this Eagles offense?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say that either one of those guys will be the game changer for the Eagles offense. I'm not sure what their game plan looks like to defeat the Chiefs. However, I do think that they use it's a heavy dosage of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. They like to mix both of those guys into the running game. And I think that's going to be a heavy dosage on both of those points to kind of get them to where they want to be, which is the promised land for this Super Bowl. They didn't get there too much in the last Super Bowl of running the ball. So I think we will see those two guys a lot. The Chiefs don't really cover tight ends too well, and I seen that they had Dallas Goedert probably not really going off. But they don't, you guys need to probably go get him. If he's available, take the money in Dallas Goddard because like you said, like the Chiefs really don't cover tight ends well. Hopefully we do. We come into this game covering tight ends better, but I don't think that Saquon and Jalen Hurts are game changers. But for the Eagles offense, I think that the Eagles offense is going to start with the offensive line. Um, Really trying to kind of win the offensive line of scrimmage. If they can really knock the Chiefs back and get Saquon for going for 3 or 4 a carry or more than that, then I think that they have a chance of winning the game. But if they don't knock the Chiefs off the ball, I think it's going to be a long day. There's been a lot of turnover with both of these teams. Neither one of these teams are the same teams that seen each other in the previous Super Bowl. So I just think it's not gonna be as high of a scoring Super Bowl as we've seen. Just because I think both defenses are a little bit better. But I don't think either one of these guys really make a big impact. Well, I'm not going to say either one of these guys because Jalen is throwing the ball. He's a quarterback, so he's always going to have an impact on the game. But I don't know how big of an impact Saquon has because I see the Chiefs really coming into this matchup really keen on Saquon, being that he did the Pop Warner toss crack first play of the game, take it 80 yards to the crib, spin move 2 guys out they socks. I don't see them letting him do nothing like that to them. So I see them kind of keying up on Saquon. And if anybody does make a big play or game-changing play, I think it'll be Jalen Hurts just because he's always got the ball in his hand. He's the quarterback making the decisions. So Jalen will probably be a game changer, but I don't know if either one of those guys really has like a great day. Hopefully not.
One of those two will have to be the changer in that game to actually give them the best opportunity to win, right? I do think it will fall on Jalen Hurts a little bit more due to the fact that I understand that people are trying to judge the Chiefs' rush defense like for since week 13, and they were at the bottom half of the league of that. However, from week 1 all the way up until like week 12, I think when we went up against Josh Allen and that Bills offense, we didn't even give up a 100-yard rusher, and we actually was stacking on them as well too, to the point to where we was really, of course, clouding that line of scrimmage, really getting a lot of tackles for a loss, really putting in the best effort. Like, hey, like you're not going to beat us within that run game because that was something that we had dealt in previous years where we gave up on that. But we always forced teams to have to pass, which in this case we still made teams have to pass because we still put up enough points where they had to go out there and still beat us because they know that Patrick Mahomes, if he had the ball last, what he's going to do with it, he's going to win the game. So I think Jalen Hurts is going to be more important for him to be dominant because he had a great game in that last Super Bowl that we had, right? If we would have lost, he would have got the Super Bowl MVP. He had over 300 yards total in that game and had about, 4 touchdowns as well, too. So he did ball out. He did have a great performance, and that wasn't enough. So I think if Jalen Hurts doesn't do enough, which he has been injured this season as well, too. Not as much. I think he only missed 2 games, but he been fighting through them as well. And then a lot of people they were thinking that was the problem with why he wasn't really connected with his receivers as well, too. He had that trouble in the past game early on in the season. That's why they declined, right? If you're doing that against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in the Super Bowl. Not like that. Now, I know the last couple, well, just last one, honestly, we only had 22 points, so that was the lowest scoring one that we had. But still, this is an offense who is ran by Andy Reid, who you got Patrick Mahomes leading the way. You got to put up points with that, right? And Jalen Hurts, he's going to have to connect with guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But I think in this game, we're not going to allow them to be the ones who make the noise either. We're not going to let you get those deep balls down the field and make those big plays on us. We have limited that when having this with this defense. Now, we gave up a big one of Mac Hollins last week. We always give up some then and there, but it's usually never too much where it just destroy and ruin the connection and the hearts of the Kansas City defense. They just come back the next time and they're not gonna allow that again. You shut it to them, they're gonna make sure it doesn't happen after that. So they're gonna keep everything in front of them, and I think that's what they're gonna have to do. That's when Saquon, you're gonna have to average about 4 to 5 yards to carry, and we're not gonna let that happen. We're not gonna even let you, of course, break a big one up on us, because when Spags is going to bring up the defense, he's going to know it's going to be in a pass down situation. right? Because still, we're not like opposing defenses where if we bring them up, our DBs like to tackle. Our linebackers can tackle. Our defensive linemen get a hand on you, it was going to be a problem. So I feel like with those two, it's obvious they have to be the game changers. That's why I put them in this question and formed it this way because who will have to really? It's really who you feel going to have to step up the most. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying Saquon Barkley. Be honest, y'all. We're not going to let you beat us with your running back. You're not going to win a Super Bowl with us like that against your running back. Not. We're not. We're not going to allow those big plays. We're not going to allow you to go for 60 plus and a 70+ yard touchdown. We key in on that. We focus in on that. We watch film and pay attention and say how we're going to stop that. What's different than all the other 31 other teams? With Spags, he has it on the film and he has seen it. He's looking at all the ways that you have scored and how you have made big plays off that. He's going to tell them like, watch the cutback, watch how this lineman comes out and he likes to scoop you guys out to the sideline or force on the inside, and then Saquon got a lane where he can choose where he wants to hit it, and then he breaks it off from there. We're going to fill the rushing lanes. We're going to make contact. We have big hitters. This can be moments for guys like Jaden Hicks, who's young, who's a rookie, where you can come in and fly in and throw off that balance. If you, of course, on the first couple runs that he has, and you're meeting him at the line of scrimmage, and he's only going to get 1 and 2 yards of carry, that's going to make them think a little bit. And I think if you throw them off to where, oh, we're going to have to probably shift our game, probably to start with some quick passes, do all that, then we'll move up some. And we're going to play when you're trying to get it out quick. And, our corners, they like to fire off as soon as they see it. They don't think. They don't hesitate. They go. So Jalen Hurts, he's going to have to be the one who do it for me. He's going to have to do it. He's going to have the ball out of his mind. He can't have the same mistakes that he had in the last Super Bowl where he gave up a fumble, got a quick 3 and out, gave opportunities to the Chiefs offense to be able to capitalize and keep them in that game. So I think if he wants to, of course, redo what he did from Super Bowl 57, he's going to have to control the time of possession, and he's going to have to limit the possessions that the Kansas City Chiefs are allowed. If he's able to do that, then that's when you can lean on Saquon Barkley more, and then he's going to be able to close out the game for you and get those first downs, because when he needs to get a first down, he will. But we have seen him in New York as well too, and we played him a couple times, and we had pretty decent games against him. So we're not familiar with him, and we know what your offense line has as well. But just like you just said that Philly defense, stay young on that side of the ball, they got younger like that. I mean, we just as great, and we got vets who are not that old. Chris Jones is only 30. Charles Minnie, who is around 28, 29, 28. They're not that old. Then you got George Karlaftis, who's playing out of his mind. You got Mike Daniel, who's on a 3-year deal, who is in his now in his late 20s as well. Just like they're young, we're young as well. Just like you're young on the back end, we are as well. But our back end is a little bit better, especially with Jalen Watson being back in the fold. So, anything else you want to add to that before we go ahead and move on to our Super Bowl predictions?
Yeah, I think we agree. Like you said, Jalen Hurts the ball's gonna be in his hand 24/7. He's gonna want to be the one that has to change the game. So yep.
Got to make the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Playmakers make the plays. And that's what he's gonna have to show us. He was able to get to his second Super Bowl, so we know you can get to this moment. But now you have to prove that you can get over this hump. And with what we have going on right now and what we're trying to fight for, I don't know if you're. I don't think they want to be denied that. So we know that this is gonna be a tough matchup. I'd rather prefer to play the Commanders. I wanted the easy route. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take it how I want it. I know that y'all good, but Nick Sirianni, we try to shut you up. You talk too much. You're a great coach. You're a good winning coach, but you talk too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the team on the other side of what the Chiefs are trying to do either. They shooting for greatness right now. I wouldn't want to be I don't think it's too much about the other team. I think it's really about what they're trying to do. They're like locked in, tunnel vision right now.
And a lot of players got something to play for as well too. If they win the Super Bowl, that means everyone who was around since 2021, that'd be their third championship. Some of them come up on their contracts like Trey Smith and Nick Bolton. So this type of game to where this could potentially be their last game with the Kansas City Chiefs, they might as well go out on top because they know once they get the bag somewhere else, more than likely. And not being funny because we talked about that earlier with Kyron Sanders. He didn't mention it. When we leave the Chiefs, it's not really because we just really want to go. We really like the legacy and we was a part of that as well. But you can't keep everybody, right? And typically what Brad Beach like to do is when people outprice themselves, we tag you and send you where you want to go. If we're able to work with you, we can. But if you're not giving a discount, essentially, we can't do nothing about that. And we more accepting. We're not like the Cincinnati Bengals where we just want to be stingy. You want to keep players that haven't even got you any success. You're talking about you want to keep T. Higgins and all of that, but first of all, why are you trying to strap him if it's like I like y'all not doing nothing for me? Yeah, we supposed to be the Chiefs, we haven't. And y'all do all this and then be mad when it actually happened, but you put yourself in a hole because you were trying to be stingy and you're already not good with money management anyway, and you just put yourself still in that big hole. What Brad Beach is like, I'm not dumb. When I went out and got them guys, I knew what they can be. When you talk to him in the meetings, he probably told them, y'all gonna be the highest paid in your position one day. We already got our quarterback where he's not the highest paid, but he got the largest contract out of all of them. Everybody else just got those little years. We gave him 10 years because what did he do 7 straight years?
Bowl or AFC Championship, nothing less.
That's earned, bro. So with you guys, if we doing that already, some of them they gotta. That's why I don't get mad anymore. We want stuff to work out, but we just don't want y'all to sound like Tyreek Hill. That's pretty much it. Let's put it easy like that. He did too much when he said all that. Like at first, I used to try to make excuses, but yeah, bro, you did too much on that. Not gonna lie. Now let's go ahead and jump into our last topic. Here's our early Super Bowl predictions. So, what is your prediction for this Super Bowl matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, and who will stand out on the offense and defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, so I think the Chiefs get a win here, 31-28. I think the Chiefs win in a close one. We've been talking about it the whole time. Like I said, I think the Chiefs have tunnel vision here. This is a legacy-defining game. This is the one for all the marbles. All the chips are on the table. We're finally here. They were saying that this is, I think, the team that'll be the most comparable to the 72 Dolphins, the undefeated team. Um, no team in sports history has ever three-peated. And I mean, no team in NFL's history has ever three-peated. Um, However, teams in sports history have three-peated, but this is one of the hardest sports to ever go back-to-back in, let alone win 3 championships. And the Chiefs are literally one game away from doing the impossible or doing the unthinkable, doing what hasn't been done, etching their name in Chiefs in NFL history forever. This game, I think, alone will get guys in the can. Just because the team will just be remembered. Like I said, like amongst the 72 Dolphins. There were teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, those with Franco Harris and who was that guy? Terry Bradshaw. And then you got the Troy Aikman and the Cowboys, and then you got the 49ers. With, I think it was Young or Montana, one of the two. Those teams never got to this point or made it to were able to three-peat. The Chiefs are. So the Chiefs know what they have to do, and I think they get a win. And I think Mahomes has himself a great day. I think he has the Jordan game, the Steph Curry game, the Kyrie shot in Game 6. I think this is the game right here. I think for Mahomes, this is the one where he separates himself and really kind of shows that he's the one. There is no more conversation. It's him, then it's everybody else, like it's always been. And I think he shows that and goes out and gets a couple touchdowns, whether that be on with his legs or through the air. But I just think Mahomes has a day. I don't think he comes out a little bit off whatsoever. He was hurt in a couple Super Bowls. He played a good game in the last one, but he didn't start off fast like he wanted to. So I think Mahomes has a great day, and I know that's the easy pick. And then I'm going to go with Chris Jones. I'm on the defensive side. I know that's another easy pick, but Chris Jones hasn't really had – he's had great Super Bowls just with all the pressures and kind of getting there just a tick too late. I think Chris Jones gets there now. And I think he finds a way to get home. I know their offensive line is good, so I see them letting us kind of single up and get some one-on-one matchups just because they're thinking that they can sustain blocks. And I think Chris Jones takes advantage of that, does his typical stuff up and down the line. But this was a man who was super emotional after we won the AFC Championship. I think he understands what's on the line for his legacy, and what can help him and kind of submit his already magnificent resume that he has, with some of the sack totals over his career. So I think that the Chiefs get it done, and I think Chris Jones and Mahomes have a day. I wanted to pick George Karlaftis because I know that they're going to be keying a lot on Chris Jones and keying a lot on Charles Omenihu, being that those guys kind of have been just taking the heat off of Chris Jones, being that they're getting sacks and kind of showing what they can do. So I love what I seen from George Karlaftis, but I'm gonna go with Chris Jones and Mahomes. And I think they have a great day. The Chiefs get a win, 31-28, and we go into Chiefs. We go into NFL history for forever. We're etched in the history. And I'm going to pick more newspapers on Monday.
Great prediction, bro. I actually agree with you. My score prediction for this game, I'm gonna go ahead and say 28-24. I know we eclipsed 30 points in the last matchup against the Buffalo Bills, but I do think that the Chiefs game plan, it doesn't come in. They don't come into these matchups and say like, oh, we just want to go ahead and just put 50 or 60 plus points on the scoreboard, right? I think they just want to come in and have a clean game and have an efficient game to where they can control time of possession, but also get down the field and put points on the board as well too. That's what they did early on in that Buffalo game. Every possession that they had, they was running down the field and it was put points on the board, and it was 7. So I think if we continue with that mindset, get those stops on the defensive side of the ball, I think this could be a smooth Super Bowl victory for the Chiefs. Now it's going to be hard fought still, but you still got to stay ahead of the curve. I think with the Chiefs, I want them in this matchup. I want them to always be ahead. I don't want them to actually give the Eagles any signs of life in this matchup. I would like them to come in and control that time of possession, come in and control the entirety of the game, not allowing the Philadelphia Eagles to do what they want to. They're going to have to keep them out of third and short down situations, even fourth and short situations, because we know they're going to try to do the tush push. Now they got good practice last week with the Buffalo Bills, and they were unsuccessful on a couple of those, right? But with Jalen Hurts and that Philadelphia offensive line and how they set it up as well too, they just shown that they're the best at that. But I think with the Chiefs, even though that you're the best at it, we like to stop people that think that they're the best of something. So if you come in and you're going to keep on doing it over and over again, I promise you, it's going to be a time where, hey, we're going to go out there and actually stop this. And they even did it in the Super Bowl with Jason Kelsey and the guys as well too, where in 4th and 1 and 4th 2, they was like, they're kind of looking for it. They're kind of expecting it. So that's kind of what led to that fumble that Jalen Hurts had in that last matchup, and Nick Bolton was able to pick it up and run it in for a touchdown because they was going for the shotgun, but it was a design run. But Nick Bolton was able to hit that rush lane, hit it, and contain it well, and it threw him off. So if we can have moments like that, that will keep us ahead in this particular matchup. So I got it 28-24 Chiefs. My standout on the offensive side of the ball, I'm actually going with you. We're going to have to copy each other on this one, Patrick Mahomes. The reason why I needed to be Patrick Mahomes, because that would be 4 Super Bowls for him and 4 Super Bowl MVPs. The other guys, they're going for season MVPs and they're playing for those moments like that. But with Mahomes having 2 regular season MVPs, he also having, believe he got Offensive Player of the Year before as well too. And then along with that, you have multiple All Pros, and as of now, you got 3 Super Bowls, so that would be 4. I think it's just filling up that trophy case, and that's going to for sure push him and be number 2 on that quarterback list behind Tom Brady. Right now, he's tied with Joe Montana just because of how fast he done it in his career, and every year that he started, his floor has been the AFC Championship game. So I do want Patrick Mahomes to be the standout in this matchup, and it don't even have to be for over 300 yards passing. He can be similar to what he did in these previous games where got about 250, 260 passing. I got 2 or 3 touchdowns along with that. But for sure, in a rush game, he's going to have probably about 40 or 50. Just because in those big moments, he's going to get outside the pocket, he's going to move up, and he's going to run for 10 plus when he's in those first down. So if he's running He in the last game he ran 11 times. So if he's having that, that's going to push him over 300 total yards in general. So if he have that type of performance and he can do what he did in those previous games, he's for sure getting the MVP in the Super Bowl. And then that's the fourth Super Bowl MVP that he has. And you can say that Lamar Jackson has the most Super Bowl. He has the most MVPs in the league, but in reality, it's Patrick Mahomes because he got two, and then you have four in the Super Bowl. That's the most valuable player, and that's the most important value player, most important valuable player at that. You got me stuttering. That's how serious I am. And on the defensive side of the ball, you took Chris Jones. I'm going with Trent McDuffie. I need Trent to go off this game because we know that at times they are going to try to challenge our secondary. And if you're matching up against a AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, they think because of your size and your height that they can win that jump ball battle. But if you're covering well, if you're on top of it, anytime they're trying to get the quick pass off and you're all up in their grill right after that, getting past that blocker and then just sticking them at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage, those moments like that will help the Chiefs in this matchup. We want to keep the Eagles behind the line of scrimmage. That's why with you having Chris Jones, yeah, he's going to help with that with getting sacks and just doing his part in the run game where he's able to collapse that line, he's able to run through him, he's able to blow it up because that's what we need to do against this Philadelphia Eagles offense. You need to hit them in the mouth early. You got to be right on that with them. You cannot let them push you off the line of scrimmage because that's when Saquon Barkley will be effective. That's when he will destroy you. So if you eliminate that, you're going to be all good. But Trent McDuffie, he got to step up big. He got to step up big. I think if he does, if he step up big, go ahead and give him a Blake check and tell him what you want. What you want? Two-time All-Pro. Could have been a three-time All-Pro, maybe if he played his rookie season, the first half of it, right? Because we saw what he did the last half of it, and he was stoning everything his way. So that's who I have it as, and I want him to get an interception as well, too. You didn't got your regular season interceptions, right? You didn't got that, you put that on the stat sheet. Now let's go ahead and add that total within the postseason as well, too, and let people know that I can do it on all levels. I can hit, I can cover, I can play the ball and get interceptions. That's all we need. And then he forces fumbles as well, too. He's definitely great at that. So that's who I got standing out. That's my predictions for this Super Bowl. It's early predictions. We'll see if that changes over time as more news come out about it. But y'all see our updated versions if we do have it, of course, that next week because we're going to be talking that entire week on our final drive with our other guests that we have. Anything else you want to add, Lonnie, before we go ahead and close it out?
Nope. Just like you said, legacy defining. This is it right here for all the marbles, all the chips on the table. Um, get ready to watch history. Either way, it's gonna be history, a loss or a win. So, I love it. Live in the
Yep,
moment.
first team to be able to get there after going to two straight Super Bowls and even getting past the championship game. That's a first already, but we're not going to let that. We're not even going to have those emotions of like, hey, we win or lose. We want to go out there and win. If losing happen, it just happened. But the mindset is winning. I know their mindset right now is winning. When I see all the social media posts coming out, they're getting in their threads. We got the white jerseys for this upcoming game. Trav already did his social media stuff as well too. We'll start seeing a lot of that stuff come out throughout the week. For those who love football, though, remember Pro Bowl is this week. It's not our traditional Pro Bowl, but the skill challenge and all that's going to be on Thursday, and I believe the flag football game is going to be on Sunday. Man, that's kind of boring, bro.
Yeah, you know what it is. What it is. No violence. They don't like violence no more. So okay, whatever.
Everybody's soft. They don't want to play because they're scared of injury, and I get it too. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like the NBA All-Star game, but bro, this is the end of y'all season. Nobody tell you go out there just. I mean, like do that, but you get off. But I don't think y'all get like those ACLs and nothing like that. I mean, say if you get like hit in the ribs or something like that, bruised, but you got a whole off season to be good. You know what I mean? So I mean, we need to come back together like that. I will
Yeah.
give Adam Silver his credit where he's trying to make it at least fun and enjoyable. Roger Goodell, you gotta somehow make this fun and enjoyable
Yeah.
for people to watch. And to the point, it don't even seem like it be on live TV like that anymore, bro. I think they just show like the things we see on social media, and that's it.
Yeah, it's
It's
bad.
crazy. Right. But that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin. Once again, thank you all for, of course, supporting our channel and tapping in with our shows as well, too. We are over 250 subscribers. We are like at 283, 285 right now. So we're pushing towards that 500 mark. Please help us get there, because we will be doing a giveaway when we get to that. But we're almost there. We're almost to 300. So help us get to 300, and then we'll push it forward to try to get 400, and then eventually we'll get to that 500. But thank you all for, of course, supporting us. We have a fun week ahead of us as well, too. A lot of big things are coming up. I believe this is going to be like Shannon's vlog is coming out sometime, I believe, either tomorrow or Friday. So be on the lookout for that. And I believe that's going to be our final content for the week in regards to that, leading up to the Super Bowl, when we get into that content next week. So be on the lookout. We always love talking to you all. And Lonnie, as always, bro, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.